Dear AI aspiring engineers, welcome to our channel Alex Tech Project. Today we try to see one of the very interesting, that is GenAI RAG SQL project. You can see it on the screen. This is my Git repository Alex Vatti. So without further delay, what it can does now, let us click on this one and go to this repository. It is telling talk to any database. How you are talking to anyone, like a layman, we can talk to any database. And in this one we are maintaining the iris data set, iris data SQL database, and we are entering the query what we want to identify from this database, the sample questions, how many entries are there, how many different species are there, what are the flower names are there in this table, minimum length or minimum value of a petal length or maximum value of a petal length. So these are the typical simple questions we are asking over here. Now how it will try to work, so that we try to see it on to the things. Now we are moving on to the repository and what it will containing. On this one it was showing on the screen, that is app.py, requirement.txt and Jupyter notebook. All this one it is there inside this repository. Now I have opened the VS Code and I am showing and I have cloned locally, and whatever the files it has there in the repository, it has been there. So I am confirming again. And what are the steps you need to read, that you try to get the readme.md, you can see it on the screen, and clone the step number 1 and enter into the directory, that is step number 2, and install by pip install -r requirement, and here you need to have it as a Gemini AI Studio and SQL database, that is MySQL database password, and how to run Streamlit run app.py. Now I am opening the app.py, you can see on the screen, and it will be having, this is the code. And for the first thing, in order to go this one, I need a database. Now I enter into the AWS. So in this one I have logged in and I am clicking on the RDS, and you can see it on the screen, databases, and it was running. So I am creating the new one, that is standard is, and the second one will be the MySQL I am selecting, and MySQL community and engine version also it was showing on the screen, and I have taken the production and single database instance I am clicking on, and this is the DB instance name, you can see Alex DB database I have creating, and admin and self-managed password, you can enter the master and confirm the password. And after this one, storage, I am selecting the GP3, you can see it on the screen, general purpose SSD GP3, and I am setting to 20 GB, so that is a minimum limit. And after this one, additional settings, storage, I am not selecting auto selecting, I disabled. Connectivity I am selecting as a default, I don't want extra EC2. And the security, yes, public access I am making as an yes, because I need to access. And after this one, existing VPC, I am created the security groups, I am selecting MySQL SG, that is security group, and I am disabling the default. And I am keeping the availability zone as it is, and applied configurations, that port number, that is 3306. And after this one, database authentication monitoring, I am disabling the monitoring also as of now. And you can see enhanced, that also I have disabled, but we are getting this much. So first, database options I am creating, this is the mandatory, you need to give the database name, that is instance, and this is the database name. So I am entering into the flowers. So like this I was moving here and there to see the configurations and to create the things. Okay, so one of the things you try to do it. It is doing all backup also I am disabling, encryption also I am disabling, deletion protection also, maintaining also I am disabling. So it was getting 199.72 monthly cost. Something else I missed, so I am checking here and there. Again I am going encryption I am disabling, and moving on to there. Again I am searching on this one, anything I missed. Okay, you can, yeah, here checking on the screen. Wait for a minute, so I will see all these things again. From top to bottom I am selecting the burstable. This is the dbt3.micro I am selecting. This is a free tier CPU computing power I am selecting. So with this one you can select this one, and you can come down and check. That will come as a minimal cost, like as in 20.87 USD for monthly cost. So with this one, like this I am scrolling above for the settings, MySQL standard access, and version I am selecting, and templates, production, and accessibility, single db instance. Okay, you need this a must. And the second one is password is self managed, so that is the thing you need to select, confirm. And burstable classes, that is the T3 micro, and the rest of the things are disabled. And by repetitively checking all this one, finally I am clicking on the create a database instance at the top corner, it will be there. So after this one you can, once it is everything is fine, you can click and you can see the database instances. Yeah, now I have created. I am going on to the RDS, and you can see the database instances, and you can see db1. So click on this one, and it will try to give the information. And the first one is connectivity and security, where you will try to get the endpoint. This is the most important one, is the endpoint. Next one is a monitoring. Third one is a logs and event, configuration, maintenance, back tags, recommendation. So the first tab, connectivity and security, endpoint is the one. Okay, after taking this endpoint and port number 3306, now I am going on to the Jupyter notebook. By taking this information, now I am moving on to the Jupyter notebook. For this one, I am going on to my system and entering into the Jupyter notebook. Now it will take a few minutes to launch the Jupyter Drive, and I am entering into the Generative AI RAG SQL. There is Jupyter notebook, and I am clicking on that one. To read and write data from AWS RDS MySQL, here I have given one template. For this one you required pandas and SQL Acclame, PyMySQL. These are the things you need to do, and how to write the code I have explained by filling the password, user, endpoint, port, and database name. You try to write. I have already written the iris dataset onto the database. You can see it on the screen by using the print statement. And I have given how to read the table from the SQL. That is nothing but the query. Okay, that is also we have given onto the screen. So how to read back the data by writing the query. So this read query is a very important. So whenever we are playing with us in a database, we try to come and read the table. We try to execute multiple times whatever the query. So the query part, we try to replace it and get the answer. Yeah. So with this one we are moving on to our VS Code. These are the lang chain. So any generative AI is a combination of three main important factors. One is called lang chain, another one is called as an LLM, third one is called as an Hugging Face transformer. So lang chain is having three things: lang chain community, lang chain experiment. All of these three depending upon the lang chain core. So this dependency, it has to be satisfied, then it cannot be installed. Previously we have seen the text loader, PDF loader, and URL loader. Now we are considering the SQL database chain or SQL database loader kind of a thing. And apart from this one, we are entering into the prompt by creating as a prompt template, few prompt template. This is the extra steps we have taken, and the similar things we have used in the chroma db, and we have used the sentence transformations, that is called as um, these three things we have three. Here we are writing the few shots by writing the SQL query and getting the answer. For this you required as an our Jupyter notebook, where we try to play and get the answer. So here we are helping the LLM with a few short learning, so the rest of the things it can learn and produce the content. So we are writing some template, that is nothing but the few short, and it will varies for the SQL database to database and table to table as per the user requirement. And you need to fill all these question and answers as per the table. Second one is we are getting the access to the SQL database. You need to fill the details like username, password, endpoint, port, and database. And you need to create an engine, that is a DB instance engine you need to create. And I am getting the API key from Google AI Studio and Gemini Pro. I am using as an LLM engine. So the second part will be any other engine you want to use, you can get their API key like OpenAI or Gemini Pro. And after this one, I am taking the Hugging Face all mini L6. So here we are moving on to the Hugging Face all mini LM L6 V2. This is nothing but in a 384 dimensional vector, and this can be used for clustering and semantic search. You can refer this page for the more information for the Hugging Face and sentence transformations. And after this one, we are going on to the templates, that is a few short or a prompt template. So this information how to create the prompt or few short, and this information we try to go to the LangChain, where they have explained the SQL prompt is the agent, how it has to be, and how user will send. So we are entering into the SQL prompt and few short prompt. So this information we will try to find it in the LangChain. So now we are moving on to the LangChain. The LangChain, you can see it on the screen, that is nothing but as an example set prompt template. It is few short example. Here it has been explained how to create all these things. We try to get it over here. Combining all this one, we are creating as an SQL chain from LLM, that is LLM DB, where both to prompt as a few short, and we are returning the chain. That chain we are using inside our main function. When you ask the query, we are passing the query like a layman query, and we are getting the response and we are printing over here. So now I am entering into the terminal, and I am running the Streamlit run app.py. So you can see it on the screen. Streamlit run app.py. So now it will try to open one web page. So this is the front view or website, how it will try. Now I am asking a simple questions. You can see it on the screen. How many setosas are there in this table? It will take a few minutes to seconds. It will try to get that information. It has given the answer. The answer is 50. Now we are entering into the one more query in a layman format. Different flowers are there in this table. It will take some time to retrieve the information. Now I am going on to the one more one. You can see it on the screen. Different flower names in this table. Still it is giving the 3, so we try to give the names, flower names. This is a Setosa versica virginia. These are the names it has been printed. So like this you can interact and get the required answer from here. So there is no more SQL technical or programming knowledge is required to query the data from the given database, but the person must know what is the data and what is the table he want to require some information from this one. Here the LLM SQL few shot is playing a vital role in the background. Now we try to see how we try to resolve the dependency. Some people are facing the dependency while installing this one. That information we try to meet in the next video, and the console information also we'll try to get it on this VS Code, because we have enabled the verbose. And if you have any doubts, please write in the comment section. In the next video we try to meet. Until then, bye, take care.